We'll go live in 5 seconds. 1, and you're live.
Good evening and welcome to the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District Board meeting. There is no public comment. The board meeting is October 16th, and at this point we will adjourn to closed session.
We'll count down. One, and you're live.
Good evening and welcome to the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District Board meeting of October 16th. The board did meet in closed session with no reportable action. And at this point, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Superintendent Kramer, are there any adjustments to the agenda for this evening?
No changes, President Driller.
Could I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Public comment. We do have one public comment here, which I will bring Henry Schreirick? Truckee, close. Truckee, up and to our little podium up here, and there's a little button to push so the green light goes on. Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for having me here. Okay, now it's okay. Hi, my name is Henry Schrichty. I'm here to talk about a policy that some teachers at Truckee High have implemented related to bathroom usage during class. These teachers give extra credit points to students for abstaining from bathroom use. The way they do this is by giving out a limited number of bathroom passes for students to use throughout the semester. Personally, I've seen anywhere from 4 to 9 given out per semester. Unused passes are then exchanged for extra credit points at the end of the semester. I'm here to advocate for a district-wide ban on this type of policy. First of all, access to water and sanitation are recognized by the United Nations as human rights. Also, these policies negatively affect learning and student performance. I've talked to a few classmates about what they feel about these policies. Some have said they're unable to study, unable to focus, and in the worst cases, unable to use the bathroom during class. Personally, I can't think properly if I need to go to the bathroom during class, which leaves me forced to choose between impairing my learning or using one of my limited bathroom passes and losing valuable extra credit points simply in order to exercise one of my human rights. I understand that teachers have issues with students leaving to use the bathroom either too often or for too long, but this is not the solution. Students that use the bathroom so excessively that it affects their learning will already have that reflected in their grade. They do not need an extra incentive for abstaining from bathroom usage. Not to mention the fact that there are plenty of situations that require students to use the bathroom either more urgently or more often than usual, which means these students are disproportionately affected by these policies. These policies restrict students' human rights alongside their ability to learn in school. So please help students around the district and get rid of these extra credit bathroom pass policies. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. That was very informative. This is great. And are you at Truckee High? What grade are you, or what levels? Senior. Awesome, and thank you so much for speaking. So we don't respond at this point, but then we give this to Superintendent Kramer, and then we move that right along. But, yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to do that. This is how we learn. Wow, that was great. Okay, is there any other public comment? Perfect. Sure, just if you would like, yeah, and then we'll get you to fill out a form just so we have it, so we can follow up. But come right up, and you have a 3-minute stint.
Okay, thanks.
Perfect.
I guess
So is it green? The little light, if you push the little lever at the bottom?
Yeah, now it's.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I could see why you're confused. It looked green, but now it's really green. Okay, so my name's Catherine Schnurrenberger. I'm the mother of kids within the school district. I'm also a host mom for AFS USA, and I've got a kid out on a program with AFS USA, Student Exchange, and I'm a volunteer. And my volunteer is my role that I accepted and I wanted to be involved in was coordinating with the schools. But I have run into a lot of issues with that. And I guess what I want to find out is if there's a way that I can talk to the superintendent's office or to the principals and vice principals, because I think there's some misunderstandings in the past. I know the vice principals thought that AFS was a for-profit organization and therefore didn't allow me to initially circulate a flyer via Peach Jar. So I just wanted to kind of reset and have an opportunity to share one organization, longstanding nonprofit that benefits our kids, to share the opportunities with high school students. And I've also approached the North Tahoe School and was told that there was no venue for me to talk to the kids or to the counselors or to anybody. So I'm just wondering how we might be able to do this, because right now AFS USA has several $1 million in scholarship money, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but we have a student right now in Italy from Truckee who is on 100% scholarship, needs-based. We have a student going next semester whose family, they're immigrants. I was pleased I could at least speak to them in their language. And their son is going on a needs-based 100% scholarship to Italy for a semester next semester. But I worked so hard to make these connections, and I would just like to make it available to all the students. I was given a table at the College and Career Fair, but that was maybe only 150, maybe 200 students, and I would love to be able to share this with more. So that's all.
Thank you. And then do me a favor, if you just want to just put that, there's a note table in the back. Just fill it out so that we have record. Perfect. Thank you for that. And anyone else, public comment? With that, we'll close public comment and move on to the superintendent's report. Superintendent Kramer.
Thank you, President Driller. I would like to give an update to start with, updates for support systems in our district strategic plan. And first, I want to talk about school safety. As you know, this is a priority always for us, is making sure our schools are safe. And our district and each school site has a comprehensive school safety plan that they review annually with their school site council and then also with local law enforcement. But we realize it's been some time since we've had a district-wide community school safety information night. And so to that end, we've scheduled 2 nights, one for Truckee side and one for Lakeside in November. And these are open to all families and community members. And we're going to review the ALICE protocol, how we handle threats when they come in, and then law enforcement partners will be present to also answer questions. So we're very excited to bring this back so that the community can come and hear about specifically with this night about our ALICE protocols.
What time?
Oh goodness, I left that off. Let me look.
I'm on my calendar. I got to put it in here.
Yep. Yeah, I believe it's 6 o'clock, but I want to double check.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. I should have put that on there.
6 to 7.
It is 6 to 7, yep,
6 to 7.
for both of them.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
You are welcome, and we hope to see lots of people there.
So funny, you look at a slide and you think you've seen it.
Oh, I know,
and it's all-
right? I'm missing key information. But we really appreciate collaboration with their families and with law enforcement. One of the topics that the Parent Superintendent Advisory Committee requested was more resources about how to talk with age-appropriate vocabulary and things with children. And we just know that when we're collaborating together, that we have safer schools. And so also a part of our support system strategic focus area is expanding our school site social emotional learning committees. And the school site committees came last week for a half-day training with Coach Rudy, and it got rave reviews. Staff remarked that they walked away with concrete, actionable examples of things to do to implement, and that it was really inspiring. So we're excited that we're having a great kickoff to this committee's work, and you will hear more about their accomplishments as the year progresses. And now at this point, we're going to hear about our state of academic achievement for our district from our Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Sean Roderick, who will give us a quick overview of the spring 2024 state assessments.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer. I'm happy to provide a brief overview of our TTUSD student performances on the 24 ELA, Math, CASP, and LPAC growth scores. As we begin our review for our English Language Arts CASP results, I'd like to highlight some key points and observations that emerged from our student performance. We continue to show an overall improvement in average scale scores and the percentage of students meeting benchmarks over the past 4 years. We have significant gains made for our socioeconomically disadvantaged students and our Everett EL students in the past year. Persistent achievement gap between all students and SED students, as well as our English learners and Everett EL students, continues to show. However, our subgroups have, within their persistent achievement gap, we celebrate that our 5th grade students and Everett EL students are closing that gap. To continue our growth, we'll take the following action steps to support our students' academic development. Steps include targeted interventions, ongoing professional development, and data-driven making decisions through continuous improvement collaboration. As we begin to review our 23-24 math CASP results, I'd like to highlight some key points and observations that emerged from our students' performance. Overall, we continue to see a stagnation in the percentage of students meeting benchmarks over the past 3 years. While we have the stagnation, we do show gains in math across subgroups in 8th grade. Although the achievement gap has remained persistent for the past 3 years, we are beginning to close it. We celebrate the 8th grade socioeconomically disadvantaged students and Everett ELs as they have grown significantly and are beginning to close the achievement gap. As we continue our growth, we will take the following action steps to support our students' academic development, with targeted interventions, sharing best practices, and frequent professional development.
So Sean, let me interrupt only 1 second. It's always awesome to hear that they're closing the gap when one is going up, as long as the other one is going up as well. So that was good. Like, we can close the gap if the top level goes down. So we just want to make sure that we want our top to keep going up.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, that's great.
I agree.
They're both going up. That's good. Yeah.
Celebrations. This is a celebration as well. As you look at our LPAC growth data, we notice that overall increase in the percentage of students meeting our LPAC growth targets is a significant accomplishment. This progress brings us closer to our goal of ensuring that all English learners develop the language proficiency needed to succeed academically and beyond. We are seeing a positive trend of continuous improvement in the percentage of students meeting LPAC growth targets. With these insights, our next steps will focus on the specific actions within our strategic plan designed to support student growth in these areas. Action 1.1, we're implementing Carnegie and Eureka math curriculum to build upon strategies within daily instructional best practices. Action 1.12, we are utilizing our developed academic discourse practice calibrated walkthrough tool for continued support and conversations about student engagement. And Action 1.2.2, we continue to support staff requested release days for professional development. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to sharing a more detailed discussion of this data with the board and community at a future meeting.
Thank you for that. Oh, that's not even my report. What am I doing?
And that does conclude the update.
Sorry about that. I'm like, wait. Thank you for that. And now we'll move on to Resolution 9.1. Superintendent Kramer.
And for this item, we'll turn to our Assistant Superintendent, Chief Business Officer, Mr. Rivera.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer, President Driller, members of the Board of Trustees. So tonight we bring to you Resolution Number 12, 2024-2025, authorizing a contract with Creative Bus Sales for the purchase of one school bus pursuant to Public Contract Code Section 20118. So we do have another opportunity to purchase a bus. We have another item later in the board meeting where we're going to be asking the board to approve a grant through the Placer County Air Pollution Control District, which will cover a big portion of that purchase cost. But currently, Public Contract Code requires school districts to go out to competitively bid any equipment that exceeds the value of $114,000. Buses are more expensive than that, but the Public Contract Code under 20118 allows us to not go out to bid competitively as long as we have another agency that has formally bid the specific item that we're looking to purchase and has language in that contract to allow other school districts and public agencies to participate in that bidding award. So with this, South County Support Services Agency has already formally bid different models of different buses with Creative Bus Sales. They were awarded the contract through them, and they have fixed pricing that has been established through that contract. And they also have the clause that allows other agencies to participate in that bid award. So this resolution allows us to, under contract, Public Contract Code Section 20118, to participate in that bid award process, but also enter into contract with Creative Bus Sales to purchase the bus. So currently, we're looking to purchase one low emission school bus valued at $232,739.54.
Questions from, thank you, Todd. Questions from the board?
And are we replacing or adding to our fleet?
We're replacing, under the grant agreements through Placer County Air Pollution Control District, they actually require us to destroy the bus that we are replacing. That's the higher emissions bus. No.
That's going to be your garden art for Pat Mooney, is I forgot to tell you that. We're giving it to Pat.
How do we destroy it? How do we destroy it? Because that sounds like a fun opportunity.
My understanding is they cut the bus in half and destroy the components inside the engine compartment.
And where is that happening?
Not sure.
That would be cool for the kids to see.
Yeah.
That would be super
definitely,
cool.
it gets driven to another location.
That would be a
For
cool
destruction.
field trip, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Any other questions from the board on that?
Only thanks. This is not a lot of money for us to spend on a new bus, and sort of working out the
And so Todd, just a quick, with that ability for us to use someone else's bid, because we aren't going out to bid, we are, with that, when you go out to bid, you have to barter to get the lower one. With this gentleman that did it, or this group that did it before, they already did the bartering and they got a lower one, but they've also felt that it was quality as opposed to, not, yeah, so this is a good, I mean, obviously we're doing it because it's a good person, Creative Bus Sales, but the one thing I do like about what you're saying is sometimes you do the lower bids and they are not great.
Well, this particular agency would have gone through a formal process that
Correct.
would have required them to take the lower bid. So these are the lowest prices that were bid in a formal process, and it's
Okay.
just, it's allowing us to utilize those bid prices. And there's also other agencies that maybe had had similar bids, but this is the particular bus that we want that was included in those bid documents.
Awesome, thank you for that. Since, if there's no more questions or comments, can I get a motion to approve Resolution 12?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 12-2024-2025.
Thank you. And there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you for that. Moving to 10.0 donations. Superintendent Kramer.
And for this, we'll turn back to Mrs. Roderick.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer. Good evening, President Driller, Board of Trustees, and community members. The Truckee Optimist Club has generously donated $1,500 for the Truckee Elementary School Beautification Project. This donation will provide students with outdoor learning opportunities, as well as the preparation and design of garden beds. Students will also begin preparing conceptual ideas for an indoor mural created and designed by students. It is the staff's recommendation the Board of Trustees accepts this generous donation.
Thank you very much for that. Any comments or questions from the board?
Yeah, I just want to add that this is on top of multiple donations that they made at the last meeting as well.
Also,
generous.
true story, I asked Kirsten Kramer, how do I get on that committee? They are phenomenal, and I totally will second that, Pat. Anything else, Kurt? No. Yeah, thank you very much, Optimist Club of Truckee. And would anyone care to make a motion to accept that donation?
I'll move to accept the donation from the Optimist.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank you very much. 11.0 grant, Superintendent Kramer.
And for this, we'll turn back to Mr. Rivera.
Thank you. So this is a grant from the Placer County Air Pollution Control District, agreement number SCN 10734, to replace bus number 05-6. So this is what I spoke to before. This is a grant through the Air Pollution Control District that will cover $165,000 towards the purchase of one low-emissions school bus. This is a transit bus, I believe 78 passenger. And we have a co-pay portion that the district needs to contribute of $67,739.54. And just as a reminder, we do contribute annually to a bus replacement fund, so this will be covered under that. And I'd also like to just congratulate Tony Levezzo and Ricky Cooper, who put in the grant paperwork and have received numerous grants over the last 5 to 6 years that have really made a huge impact on replacing and renewing our fleet.
So well stated. But comments from the board? Questions?
Just appreciation of the staff that looks out for the best interests of the district. Yeah.
Yeah. I always love those grants. So that's crazy. So yeah, 67,000, as Pat said, is not bad for a bus. That's like you can get a car for that. Okay, anyway.
What are you driving?
Moving.
We're driving different cars.
Yeah, you can get a couple cars for that. With that, moving on, would someone care to make a motion to approve the grant?
I'll make a motion to approve the Placer County Air Pollution Control District grant.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Brings us to 12.0 consent agenda. Are there any items that staff or the board would like to pull?
Nothing from staff.
Nothing from the board. Okay. Would someone care to make a motion to approve? And again, a reminder, these are a lot of consents. There's 12, 11 of them, but these are all items that have either been reviewed before or it is a regular returning, nothing new on there. And yeah,
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
thank you very much for that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Moving to 14.0.
And for this item, we will turn back to Mrs. Roderick.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer. Tonight, I'm happy to present the 2024-2025 School Plans for Student Achievement, also termed SPSAs, for your review and consideration. Tonight, I will highlight the important contextual factors that shape the development of our school plans. As I share our school plans this evening, I want to emphasize the strong collaboration and dedication of our site leaders. Their collective efforts have been instrumental in shaping these comprehensive plans. The school plans are a continuation of plans approved last fall. Our site principals led collaborative processes with their staff, site councils, and ELAC community to review the plans in light of the spring preliminary 2023 CAS assessment achievement results. As the plans are continuations, the majority of them will have similar language and present similar to last fall's plans. However, each school site completed analysis of the planned actions, successes so far, and adjustments were made based on current results and feedback from the educational partners. Our school plans are designed to be flexible and responsive. Our school teams continually adapt their strategies to meet the evolving needs of our students. Lastly, it's important to acknowledge the significant achievements of each school site. Our teachers, site leaders, students, and families are working together with dedication and commitment to ensure our TTUSD scholars are learning at the highest levels possible. It is the staff's recommendation the Board of Trustees approve the 2024-2025 school plans for student achievement.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Roderick. Just a note that the 10 reports were given to all of us previously, and we've all reviewed them and made notes and questions. I do have some notes that I didn't bring up to the, I guess my question would be, should I bring them up to the principals or just go through you?
You can-
Go either way.
Yeah.
There was a couple, just some outlying questions, but nothing major. So with that, does anyone on the board have any comments and questions about our reports that we read?
Just more broadly, I think it's important for parents to read these, and I know it's a lot of information, but it's helpful to just kind of understand the school that your child or children go to or may go to. So I'm constantly telling people, if you want to have a good understanding, this is a snapshot. You can, pick the ones that are applicable to you or read them all. But I do think it's really helpful to kind of understand what the district is doing. And they're like progress reports, so I find them to be really beneficial and just for us to have that information. Very appreciative we got them early too, because it gives us more time to kind of soak in the information since it's a lot. But again, I think it's really important for our parents to look at these.
And then they're found on the website, the TTUSD website that Amber has helped us create. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, it's good. It was interesting, and I think we made a comment how we've come a long way with these reports, and I think it's a good snapshot as to what we've done. So with that, would anyone care to make a motion for 14.1?
I'll make a motion to approve the school plans for student accountability for the 24-25 school year.
I'll second.
Thank you, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank you for that. Wonderful. Thank the principals for all that and their teams that made them all happen. Moving on to 15.0, business services.
And for this, we'll go back to Mr. Rivera.
Thank you. So tonight for consideration is approving agreement 24-2605M with Snow Pros LLC for 2024-2025 snow removal services for Truckee Elementary School. And just some background, every year we do put out kind of an informal bid because usually the amount of services is less than the formal bid limit thresholds. But we do an informal bid process, and we try to get as many companies out there to put in a proposal for us. And we actually received a pretty good turnout. I think almost every site received at least 2 bidders. So Snow Pros was actually the lowest bidder. So we bring that to you tonight in the amount of $79,500.
Thank you for that. Questions or comments from the board?
And I was just looking at the contract, and I didn't see it. Did they state a maximum number of days that they would clear before they charge extra, or is this regardless of how much snow we get?
It's really up to the vendor on how they want to propose services and the cost. Most, and I think Snow Pros falls into that, they do a monthly minimum, which accounts for a certain number of hours per month. But the way we have the contract structured is they get that monthly minimum payment. However, if they don't use those hours on a particular month, it kind of carries forward to the next month. So it's a cumulative total number of hours for the season.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Anyone else have comments? I'm psyched to hear that there were other bids out there, so it's not just one. And were some of them local? I'm hoping they were close by to Truckee, so they must all be local little ones.
Yeah, I think all of the snow removal contractors
Are all right here, so that's good. We like to have local people working. All right, with that, would anyone care to make a motion on 15.1?
I'll move to approve the agreement with Snow Pros.
Second?
I'll second.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you very much. That brings us to 16.0, first read on board policy.
And
Superintendent Kramer.
for these items, we'll turn to our Executive Director of Human Resources, Mr. Mike Shepard.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer, President Driller, members of the board, and the Tahoe Truckee community. I have 4 policies tonight on info only. These are first reads, and as I did last time, I'd like to quickly summarize each one. So the first one, changes to Administrative Regulation 4218, is really due to a PERB case, recent PERB case, which is Public Employment Relations Board, held that union officers cannot be subject to job action if they're carrying out their duties. So that's just kind of a change in that, a reflection of that policy. The second policies, the 4157.1 and so forth, are really about eliminating some COVID language that is no longer needed for workers' comp related duties. And then the third policy is basically some updated language for these exhibits are the 4112.9, 4212.9, and so on, really talk about what we're required to notice employees annually. So those change over time. Even though this is not an exhaustive list, they update them fairly regularly. And then the last policy is changes to 4121, and that really speaks to hiring temp teachers. If you're hiring them with categorical funds, this really tells us that we need to tell them up front what you're being hired, what the money is that you're being hired, what categorical fund it is, and the expected length of the employment. For example, a 2-year grant, then the temporary employee, even though they're year to year, they have an understanding that we think this is going to be 2 years. And with that, I'll take any questions, and these will return next meeting under consent.
Thank you for that, Mr. Shepard. Any comments from the board? Thank you. We do appreciate always getting the updates, I think, spelled out, just because it's always good to know. And again, I think most of them are just because of updating the legal parts of it or whatever. So that concludes that information, 16.0. Moving to 17.0, board business. Pat, what do you got?
I don't have any. We're at the end much sooner than I thought we'd be. Only to thank all those involved with the SPSAs. It's pages and pages and pages of material and work and really helpful information, and I thank those people for that. And I know we got them in advance. Is it possible next time to get them further in advance? It's just so much.
We can definitely try to do that. This year it was a very short timeline, but now that we know the new timeline, we'll try to get you even more reading time. Yeah, it was a lot. Just credit to the whole board governance team here. You guys went through a lot of material in a short period of time, so thank you.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
I know, it's funny when we have these quick meetings, I don't think our community understands sort of the level of work that we're putting in, because it's 6 o'clock and we've gotten through the whole agenda, but it's hours and hours of time that we're spending when we're not sitting in these seats that, cabinet's doing, that all the principals and the teachers and everyone else is doing, that's behind the scenes, that make these meetings, seamless and streamlined. So I appreciate that too. I attended Miss J's governance class, similar to Clerk
so
Hennessy.
much fun. We've all done that, haven't we?
Super fun. Very impressed with our high school students and just their level of deep thought that they contribute, and frankly calling out some, different behaviors of the adults in the room, which was good in a very, respectful way. But it got a little interesting, I would say.
I went the day before, and I was like, you're gonna love it. Yeah, the kids are amazing.
It's so good.
It was interesting just in the
And I was
sense
hoping you
of,
guys would back out.
it really made, I think it made the students have to think about, like, these are adults, and, you know, they're presenting these different ideas to us in whatever form they're doing, and I, as the student, now have to go through and digest what I'm hearing, and, you know, it's different than watching TikTok and, you know, things that you get off your phone, right? Because it's a live person, and they're face-to-face with you. So I think it was such a great class, and I just, props to Placer County for doing it for every school. The day that I went, that was her last school that she attended, so it was like all 56 schools, yeah, and she just has it dialed in. So that was, I volunteered to do it again next year.
Yeah, I know, I'm bummed I missed it, because it is really good.
It's super great, yeah.
It was great, yeah. But other than that, just doing mom stuff, so, yeah.
Lacrosse.
Lots of lacrosse, lots of lacrosse.
So, I'm glad you brought up Miss J's class. I just want to remind our students that may be watching, please, if you're eligible, register and please vote. I had the privilege of FaceTiming with my daughter from college this morning and just really discussing the ballot. She'd gotten it in the mail and
Yeah.
she's like, I got it. Now I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, we got to talk. I don't have a lot to report. I'm also appreciative of the school plan reports that we received, and I am happy about some of the successes that each school's had, and I'm also very interested in the opportunities that each school has, and just to see us get better and stronger, and yeah. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, ditto on that. Thank you so much for all of the hard work, Sean and your team, and Lupita for the last-minute request of needing this printed.
That's right.
I am so grateful that you were able to accommodate that. I kind of panicked at the last minute. I thought I could do it at home, and it wasn't working, and I was freaking out, and I can't look at them on the computer. I just realized that if I stare at the blue screen, I just lose it. I cannot stay with it. So old school. It's so nice to be able to just get my highlighter out and like scribble around and make notes and stuff, and then I can follow up with principals or Kirsten as needed. So thank you for the hard work for everyone. I appreciate it very much. And for the beautiful bouquet and the little buffet in the closed session room. That was very kind of you.
No one really wanted cheesecake,
That
but then we all ate
cheesecake,
it.
oh, man.
Like, we really shouldn't have it, but we ate it. That was awesome. Thank you for that. I don't have much to report either. I went to Vermont and it was raining. I came back to California and it was raining. We do have one more race, a mountain bike race this weekend with our kids at Tahoe Donner. Haven't been there ever, so I'm kind of excited. And then my biking career is over for the season. Very happy to have worked with SWEP. I have a SWEP hat. Very excited. Other than that, I'm all good. 6:09, meeting adjourned. Oh, 6:10.